Benjamin Franklin's secret to never fail again. You wrote down your goals. You were excited. You told yourself, this is the year. This is the year you finally get your finances in order. The year you build that emergency fund. The year you destroy that debt. But now, months have passed and that initial fire has faded to a flicker. That goal that seemed so clear is now a distant, blurry ambition you feel a little guilty about. You've tried again and again, but you keep falling short. What if I told you that the reason you fail has almost nothing to do with willpower, motivation, or even how badly you want it? The problem isn't you, it's your method. And what if I told you that the solution, a proven, step-by-step system for achieving every single one of your goals, has been hiding in plain sight for over 200 years? This isn't some new productivity hack. It's a secret from one of history's greatest minds, a founding father of the United States. It's the key to finally hitting every single one of your financial targets. The man who built himself. When we think of Benjamin Franklin, we might picture the face on a $100 bill or remember him as a key feature in America's independence. But that image barely scratches the surface. Franklin was a writer, a scientist, a diplomat, an inventor, and a wildly successful businessman. He was a true polymath, a man who seemed to master everything he touched. But he wasn't born that way. Franklin started as the youngest son of a youngest son, with little formal education and a future that seemed destined for obscurity. He was a runaway at 17, arriving in Philadelphia with barely a penny to his name. So, how did this young man, with every disadvantage, transform himself into one of the most successful and revered figures in history? The answer lies in a private project he began as a young man. A bold, arduous project, as he called it, of arriving at a moral perfection. He believed that success in any area of life, whether in business, relationships, or personal finance, wasn't a matter of luck. It's the direct result of one's character and habits. He famously wrote, "If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail." A quote that has echoed through the centuries because it catches a fundamental truth. Franklin realized that wishing for a better life was useless. Ambition wasn't enough. He needed a system. He understood that to build a fortune, to build a legacy, he first had to build himself. The system he created is the secret we're going to unpack today. It's a method so powerful and so timeless that it can be applied directly to the most pressing financial challenge we face right here, right now. The Arduous Project and the Little Book. As a young man, Franklin was keenly aware of his own faults. He called them his errors, as if his life were a book that could be edited and improved. He wasn't content to just acknowledge these flaws. He decided to systematically get rid of them. This wasn't just about being a good person. For Franklin, it was about being effective. He knew that traits like impulsivity, laziness, or disorganization were the enemy of success. So he embarked on a grand project. After some serious thought, he identified 13 essential virtues he believed were required for a successful and meaningful life. These weren't vague ideas. He gave each one a clear, actionable definition. They included temperance, eat not to dullness, drink not to elevation; silence, speak not but what may benefit others or yourself; order, let all your things have a place, let each part of your business have its time; resolution, resolve to perform what you ought, perform without fail what you resolve; frugality, make no expense but to do good for others or yourself, i.e. waste nothing; industry, lose no time, be always employed in something useful, cut off all unnecessary actions; and 7 others, including sincerity, justice, and humanity. Now, this list alone is wise, but it's not the secret. Plenty of us could write a list of good habits. The secret is what Franklin did next. He knew that trying to perfect all 13 virtues at once would be overwhelming and would absolutely lead to failure. As he put it, it would distract my attention. Instead, he created a brilliant system. He made a little book for himself with a chart inside. Along one side were the 13 virtues, and across the top were the days of the week. Each week, he would focus all his energies on mastering just one virtue. For example, during the week of temperance, he would consciously practice moderation. At the end of each day, he reviewed his actions and put a little black dot next to any virtues that he had messed up that day. His goal wasn't perfection, but progress. A day with no new dots. Then a week. He'd focus on temperance for 7 days while he still kept track of the other slip-ups in the other 12. The next week, he'd switch his focus to silence, then order, and so on. He would cycle through all 13 virtues 4 times a year. This little book was his personal scorecard for self-improvement. It's the system, not the willpower. Do you see the genius here? The secret inside the list of virtues? It isn't even Franklin's famous self-discipline. The secret is the system itself. It's a beautifully designed engine for change, and it works by sidestepping the usual way we fail at our goals. First, clarity and definition. Franklin didn't just aim to be better. He defined exactly what better looked like with his 13 virtues. Vague goals lead to vague results. Franklin's goals were crystal clear. Second, singular focus. He knew that multitasking on self-improvement was a recipe for disaster. By focusing on just one virtue per week, he gave himself manageable, achievable targets. This stopped him from feeling overwhelmed and let him really practice one behavior at a time. Third, daily measurements. That little black book was his secret weapon. He didn't rely on feelings or memory. He collected data. He tracked his progress every single day. This constant feedback showed him exactly where he was winning and where he was struggling, letting him make changes on the fly. After all, what gets measured gets managed. Fourth, consistent review and repetition. His plan wasn't a 30-day challenge he'd just forget about. It was a lifelong system of continuous improvement. By cycling through the virtues 4 times a year, he turned them from abstract ideas into rock-solid habits. This is the aha moment. We don't fail to reach our goals because we lack desire. We fail because we lack a working system. We just throw raw willpower at our big goals, but willpower is a battery that runs out. Franklin didn't rely on willpower. He relied on his system. And that system is the direct ancestor of the most effective goal-setting strategy we use today, the modern application. Franklin's system as SMARTIE Goals. So, how do we use a 200-year-old method with a paper booklet and use it for our modern financial goals, like paying off student loans or saving for retirement? We translate Franklin's system into a modern framework that experts call SMARTIE Goals. It builds on a well-known SMART model, but adds 2 key elements that Franklin understood intuitively. S is for specific. Just like Franklin didn't say, be good, you can't just say, save money. You have to be precise. Your goal must be, I will save $5,000 for a down payment on a house. M is for measurable. Franklin counted his slip-ups with his black dots. You have to count your dollars. I will pay $300 on my credit card this month is not a feeling, it's a number. Modern financial apps can do this for you automatically, showing your progress with charts and graphs. The 21st century version of Franklin's little book. A is for attainable. Franklin knew he couldn't master all 13 virtues at once, so he focused on 1 per week. That's the key to an attainable goal. If you make $4,000 a month, a goal to save $3,500 isn't attainable. It's a recipe for burnout. Your goal should be a stretch, but a realistic one. R is for realistic. This is tied closely to attainable. Is your goal grounded in your current reality? A goal to become a millionaire in 1 year might not be realistic if you're starting from scratch, but a goal to increase your savings rate by 5% over the next 6 months, that's realistic. Franklin was a practical man. He dealt with the world as it was, and you should too. T is for time-bound. Franklin's system was built on time. Daily check-ins, weekly focuses, and yearly cycles. Every single one of your financial goals needs a deadline. I will be debt-free by December 31st, 2028. A deadline creates urgency and turns your wish into a plan. As the success coach Brian Tracy says, goals in writing are dreams with deadlines. Now, here's where we go beyond just the standard SMART goal and really tap into Franklin's wisdom. The last 2 letters are integrity and emotion. I is for integrity. Why did Franklin choose virtues like frugality, industry, and justice? Because they lined up with his core values and the man he wanted to become. Your financial goals have to do the same. If your goal is to save for a home, connect it to the value of providing security for your family. If your goal is to get out of debt, connect it to the virtue of freedom. When a goal is aligned with your values, it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like an authentic expression of who you are. E is for emotion. Franklin chased his project because he believed it would lead to happiness. There was a deep emotional reason behind it. Your goals need to have the same fuel. Why do you really want to be debt-free? It's not about the numbers in the bank account. It's about the feeling of peace, the relief from stress, the freedom from the pit in your stomach. Connect your goal to a powerful, positive emotion. That feeling is what will pull you through on the days when motivation is low. The system in action. Your financial book of virtues. Let's make this super practical. You're going to create your own modern version of Benjamin Franklin's system. Step 1, define your financial virtues. Forget the vague goal of to be good with money. What does that actually even mean? Pick 3 to 5 core financial habits you want to master. These are your virtues. They could be mindful spending, no expense without a real purpose, Franklin's frugality, consistent investing, automatically invest a piece of every paycheck, Franklin's industry, debt reduction, every spare dollar attacks high interest debt, Franklin's resolution, income growth, spend 5 hours a week developing a new skill or side hustle, Franklin's industry. Step 2, create your focus cycle. You're not going to master all of these at once. Just like Franklin, you'll focus on one at a time. Maybe this month, your singular focus is mindful spending. For the next 30 days, every decision you make with money is seen through that lens. You track your spending with an app, check it daily, and see where your money is really going. Next month, your focus shifts to debt reduction, and so on. Step 3, build your tracking system. Franklin had his little black book. Your system can be as simple as a spreadsheet, a journal, or a budgeting app like Money Manager. The tool doesn't matter nearly as much as the habit of using it. This is your daily check-in, no excuses. It's where you mark your dots. Did you stick with your plan today? Yes or no? Be honest. The data doesn't judge, it just informs. Step 4, the daily questions. Franklin started and ended his days with powerful questions. In the morning, what good shall I do this day? In the evening, what good have I done today? Let's adopt this for your financial life. Morning question, what is the one specific thing I can do today to move my financial goal forward? This could be as simple as pack my lunch instead of buying it, or make that extra $20 payment onto my loan. Evening question, did I honor my financial virtue today? Look at your spending. Did you slip up? It's okay. Franklin filled his book in with dots, especially in the beginning. The goal isn't instant perfection. It's awareness and slow, steady improvements. As Franklin learned, you can't succeed without first acknowledging where you stumble. By following the system, a huge, scary goal like save $100,000 for retirement gets broken down into a series of clear, focused daily actions. You stop trying to climb a whole mountain at once and instead focus on just taking the next step. For centuries, people have looked at Benjamin Franklin's incredible success and chalked it up as pure genius. But the truth is so much more empowering. His success came from a system that is available to every single one of us. The secret to never failing again isn't about finding some magic source of motivation or superhuman willpower. It's about building a better system. A system that gives you clarity, demands focus, measures your progress, and is built on what you truly value. Franklin's method, the original SMARTIE plan, is proof that regular people can achieve extraordinary things through consistent, focused effort. He turned his life into a series of manageable, one-week sprints, and by doing that, he won the marathon of a lifetime. If you found this mix of history and practical financial advice useful, show that you value it by hitting the like button and subscribe for more lessons from the past that can build your wealthy future. And now, for your first act of resolution, I want to know, what is one financial virtue you're going to focus on for the next month? Is it frugality, industry, resolution? Drop it in the comments below. Let's create our own community of accountability, our own digital version of Franklin's circle of friends. Remember, it's not about perfection. Franklin himself admitted he never actually achieved it, but he wrote that because of his attempt, he became a better and a happier man than I otherwise should have been. That is the real goal. progress. As Tony Robbins famously said, progress equals happiness. Start your system today and you'll find that you're no longer failing, but consistently, inevitably moving forward. If you're new to my channel or returning for some fresh insights, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Until next time, I'm Christine. Thank you for committing to a life of freedom, choice, and abundance through financial literacy. Until next time, bye for now.